I'm going to be able to fit this. Yeah, well, actually, hold on. You see, I remember tower shields taking it all the way down to the bottom. But guess what I'm envisioning, right? If I take this off for a second, and just drop that. So what I'm thinking is, because this has only got you shielded from about here, whereas this goes to the very edge of the box, right? That's what I'm thinking is maybe where my memory remembers it differently. But yeah, that's all good. 2 mana stolen per hit. That's kind of shit. I'm not getting any good, like, rings. Oi! Wait. No. This is actually a really fucking strong weapon, by the way, for some fucking reason. I should probably change over and, like, use my bow and arrow and stuff. But yeah, if you guys wondered, I do like to kind of run with a melee backup, because eventually at some point in time I will run out of, I'll run out of my arrows, or I'll run out of mana, or whatever, right? And then I have to go and, like, kill things, like, directly. Or I didn't realize I hit something then, but cool beans. Also, we've had... Well, we made tacos. Was it yesterday? No. I think the day before. We made tacos on... It can't have been Tuesday. We couldn't have done that, right? No, it was fucking Tuesday. Wow, okay. I was trying to get tacos made on Monday, but we didn't have any of the ingredients and shit. But, yeah. We did tacos back on Tuesday. We've still kind of been eating them since, but I ended up having, like, a baked potato this morning, and I didn't kind of, like, finish it. So I kind of just stuffed it in the fridge, and I thought, I wonder... I was looking at the potato, and I had, like, cheese and butter and all sorts of shit in it, right? And I was like, I really, just out of nowhere, I have, like, this urge to add, like, a couple of eggs, some flour, and fry it. And, like, I wonder what that's going to taste like. So I literally just did that tonight. It wasn't bad. It's just that, yeah, I definitely could have probably done that better. I could probably also fit this shit in here better, but maybe. I move you up into here. That over there. I don't know if I'll be able to move that over. I feel like there is a way I could do this. I'm just not seeing it. No. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing it. Fine. I could probably put, like, a bunch of things on my little bar thing there. I probably have stuff to identify too, actually. No? None of it. That's fine. Give me these. Anyway, the potato thing, it wasn't bad. It was weird. I ended up adding some, like, cornstarch stuff into it, or potato starch, who fucking knows, it's one of the two. And, just to kind of get it to stop sticking to everything, because it's obviously, like, sticky potato cheesiness kind of thing. I imagine it's also a lot to do with, like, the egg in it, but yeah. That was not helping the whole situation of, like, making it. So... yeah, I fried that up, and unfortunately, because of this cornstarch and potato starch stuff, it kind of left, like, this, like, powdery outside thing instead of, like, making a crust. But I probably could have got, like, a half-decent crust if I wanted to have added a little bit more cheese, perhaps. Oh, I'm getting burnt. How do I get to you? You're stuck behind a wall. Down here. We'll get you down here. There we go. Alright, cool. Yeah, I was hoping that would end up, like, cheesy and stuff. Like, I'm thinking the idea where I got to, like, add, you know, cheese and egg and, well, I already had cheese in it, but to, like, add the egg and other shit to it, right? I'm thinking where that came from was probably, I watch, like, obviously, like, I watch a bunch of things, but there's one fellow that does, like, he tries to do, like, viral recipes, and he tries to see if they're any good, or if he is, like, average NPC can, like, make shit. And it, like, his channel is called Future Canoe, for anybody that wants to see, like, his stuff. He's actually pretty good. Like, he does not follow the recipe at all. Like, he improvises with stuff that could potentially be old or out of date or moldy or, like, all sorts of shit that's, like, borderline dangerous. And he just hopes for the best when he makes something and sees if, like, an average Joe can kind of make whatever the thing is from the ingredients that they have in the house, regardless of like if they're in date or not. And one of the big running jokes he's got is like he never has milk to add to any of his ingredients because his dad never came home with it. I understand that that's a terrible joke, but look, he leans hard into it, and it's hilarious for like the context of his videos and shit. But yeah, it is always like something he's making, and one of the things he's obviously been making lately has to have been like a lot of like cheesy potatoes, smash, whatever type stuff. So every time, oh, there's a jewel there, rune. Every time I keep seeing like this kind of potato dish or whatever, I'm just like, oh man, that would probably be so great. Like, you know, cook up a potato, like boil up a potato, bake it, whatever the fuck you gotta do to it. Then pretty much just put it in a pan, smush it down, right? And fry it in oil. Like, you can't really fuck that up. Mind you, he has, because that's his whole shtick kind of thing, is that, like, he fucks up the simplest recipes.
What do you need?
But, yeah, I fucked it up in a uniquely different kind of way. I just probably added too much of, like, the, what do you call it? Cornstarch stuff, I reckon, because it just left like a nasty kind of powdery texture on the outside, but it wasn't crispy. And at least one of them was burnt, because like if I'm cooking something, is it not really cooked unless I've burnt it, like honestly? But yeah, it wasn't too bad. Some of them came out okay. Some of them must have had the right cheese ratio or something, and they were okay. I gave those to Nick because I'm not a piece of shit. He can have the nice ones. And then I ate most of the burnt ones, so they weren't great. I'm talking about MacGyver? No, we're talking about Future Canoe. But I mean, I do MacGyver the shit out of most things anyway. Also, welcome in, Jan. I don't know if you want to be called Jan or Jan Lucas or Lucas. Let me know. But yeah, MacGyver's pretty fucking great at MacGyvering things. We kind of like refer to MacGyver a lot from like The Simpsons, like old Simpsons, like, you know, where like Selma and Patty would just watch like, you know, I don't even know if it was just called MacGyver, but they were always watching it, right? And you'd have like put a paper clip and a rubber band together and escape from a prison. But then he actually tries it in real life and it doesn't work, or he just flings like the paperclip or something, and I don't know, memories, they're fantastic. Cool, either. Awesome. I'll probably interchange until I like settle on one, because it's kind of what I sort of do. I pick like the most random fucking combinations of names sometimes. Sometimes I'll take like the third word out of somebody's name and like roll with that. I don't know why. My brain just does that. This is the way you start describing how he does stuff with whatever old thing he had. It sounds like MacGyver. Yeah. No, I get what you mean. His is more like the recipe calls for insert whatever fancy ass, like really good cheese pulled cheese, right? And he's like, I have this like stack of, I think it's raclette or something. He has like this really fancy cheese. I think it's fancy cheese. I don't know my cheeses, but he has this like fancy ass cheese thing that he's been kind of like getting through over like the last like 6 months, and this is filling up so fast, and this is the never ending. Yes, that's exactly it. Do you fucking know him? Future Canoe? Like, obviously, like, as in, like, his shows and stuff, because, like, obviously a lot of people see him, and that specific joke, I don't know too many people that have, like, caught on to that as quick as you just did. Also, thank you for the follow, by the way. Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, it is a never-ending raclette stuff. I can't say it. I try, I just can't say it right. But yeah, he's always got that. So he always substitutes every kind of cheese for that. Whenever he's got to have milk, he substitutes it for cream or water, or like whatever he's got. And then there's always like the I'll go beat it on the couch moment, and you just have like the most inappropriate like look at him over at the couch, and then he like lifts up the bowl. And yeah, it's fantastic. I would hate to be his roommate. Like, imagine walking out to that and it's like, oh my god, I'll go back into my room for the next hour or whatever. And it's like he's still out there because he's like whipping a meringue or some shit. And it's like, you don't know that. Well, you don't know that until you walk around the corner. It's a gamble every time. I can't shoot them when they're up on the things. That's fine though. But yeah, I love his shit. I just love like his what do you call it? His like nonchalance kind of thing. I enjoy like that about it. I don't know why he keeps sausages, eggplants, pickles in his bedroom.
I need mana.
What does he call the eggs? It's like weevils or something, right? He calls his eggs weevils, I think. Alright, again, can't say it right, but I understand what it's supposed to be. And for ages, when I was watching him initially, I was like, what is that? And I had to keep, like, carefully timing stuff to be able to actually catch when he'd pick it up and, like, show it on camera briefly, because otherwise...
I can't carry anymore.
Otherwise, I had no fucking clue what it is. What is this? This is a... No, that's a 4-piece one. I was hoping I could maybe fit it in there, but I don't think that's going to quite fit. Alright, we'll go back. Coffee time? Alright. I don't have coffee on me, but I have water. It's still cold because, you know, I was surprised for a moment there, and I really shouldn't be that surprised. It's coming into winter. It's like autumn right now, so thank you, Grandma Hydrate. So yeah, it's gonna stay cold if I pour cold water in here, and then, you know, it's cold ambient temperature. Hold on. I have got some health and stuff. Needs to hydrate, Grim.
Not in town.
I will in town. Can't fucking make me. Yeah, I don't know. Even with the heater on, I kind of expected that to get hotter sooner. Over summer, there was nothing we could do to get the water to stay, like, cold for more than, was it 7 minutes? We timed it. It would be hot within 7 minutes. Even if it was, like, iced, chilled water. It would still just do it. So I'm kind of like, I'm basking in the fact that it's staying actually, like, cool. Well, I don't want to gamble. I do, but I don't right now. Maybe later. We'll talk about it. Give me that, give me that. Because I have noticed my coffee is getting colder quicker. I thought it was just me losing track of time. It could also be that. You know, the thing I've always been most surprised with, Grim, is that you don't have, like, a coffee warmer. Oops, that's the wrong one. I do not want that. Not what I want either. I don't know if I've asked you before, Grim, but is there a reason why you've never had a coffee warmer? Beyond perhaps just not having access to one? It's like, I know that there are mugs out there that, like, keep your drink warm within them. And then there's other ones where, like, you can put them on something and it'll heat it up and stuff. I've always been, like, a bit iffy about those, just because, like, because I don't need a coffee warmer. A coffee warmer. Yeah, you and Nick. Yeah, no, whenever I've had coffee and stuff, well, I should specify, I drink my coffee just fine. I drink it, like, I either forget about it or I drink it, okay? So, it's either long since passed away, kind of levels of don't drink it, or I've only just barely missed it, kind of thing. Calm down, love. Jesus. I'm gonna have a stroke if she keeps that up. Anyway, whenever I used to work in computers and stuff, there's a fucking scroll of identity out there, damn it. I used to tend to find that the guys used to find, like, really creative places to hide their mugs when I had to do, like, dishes duties and stuff. And so I would find a mug that had probably been around for, like, a week, give or take, and it had been tucked in behind somebody's monitor between a computer and something else. And the level of, like, life-sustaining mold that it had, oh shit, was interesting. It's enlightening. It's chunky. It slid out of the mug once. That was something. I never want to see that shit again. But yeah, that's what you get when you, like, work around. Oh shit, fuck. Work around other people that, like, hide shit. Instead of finishing their coffees or taking it to, like, a break room or stuff. Can't get you because you're up. There we go. Gotcha. That's where I live. My coffee only gets cold in a mug if I forget it. Yeah. See, we don't really get, like, too cold weather here. And we're in Australia, just to clarify. Like, Grim and I, we're in Australia. And it's not too bad. Like, our winters are very tropical kind of thing. So, at the moment, I can't imagine it being much less than, like, I don't know, it feels like it's maybe 16. 16 seems low. Hold on. Let me have a quick look. What's the current weather around us at the moment? Yeah, hit me up with current weather, please. It's 18 degrees. I was going to say, I'm like, 16 sounds a little low. Degrees Celsius, just to clarify. So it's not super, super cold, but our summers are like bitchingly hot. So summer was like dangerous for me. But we don't get, at least where Grim and I are, we don't get snow. Like Grim's still hours above where I am, but we don't get snow. So we never have to worry about like it like super chilling kind of thing. But at the same time, like ambient temperature, if you've got a door and a window or something like that open at night, it does get pretty cold pretty fast. At least faster than you can kind of like actively kind of drink something. I'm gonna go back out and around, and I'm gonna get that. How the fuck do I get out of here? This way. I'm gonna get that fucking scroll by notification, whatever it was. I'm gonna use microwave to reheat coffee, but I don't like that because there's a layer of skin. Yeah, I've never successfully reheated a coffee in a microwave. I've tried. I did used to work with people that like were able to do it and do it well. I just never kind of, I just never got the skill. The other thing too is like my coffee on any given day can be really different. So like I might want a black coffee one day, I might want a white coffee another day. I might want one that's like almost like a caramel kind of in between, like barely got any milk. I'm not going for like full tilt fucking paper white kind of coffees. I can't do that. I also can't do that with tea either. I had a friend that used to do that. She'd be like, "Do you want me to make you a cup of tea?" And I'd have like PTSD flashbacks as I'd imagine the tea that would come out that was like basically like Snow White, like milk in a cup, except lukewarm and mildly tea flavored. But the thing is, like, I also don't really care for like one day I could maybe want sugar in it, next day I might not. The day after that, I might want anywhere between 1 to 5 sugars. Like, depends what I'm doing, depends on the day, but it also depends too, because I tend to put like a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of coffee in any given cup. So when I'm talking about like adding like up to 5 sugars and shit, I'm talking about like having 2 cups of coffee in 1 like cup kind of levels of coffee. So it's already very strong, so I'm only counteracting it kind of thing. But I tend to find these days my body reacts more to sugar than it does to caffeine, which kind of sucks because caffeine used to do stuff. It's actually keep me awake, or at least kind of like I'd have like the nice aroma kind of thing. I'd be like, oh cool, I'll have a coffee and the smell will just make me happy, and the room feel lively and awake or something. I don't know. And now that shit doesn't happen. And like, it's just sad. Have I got all of this map? Because I feel like I'm missing down here. We complain if it's below 20 degrees Celsius. So we use, was it used to it being hot? Yeah, I gotta agree with that. Like, I definitely bitched all summer long about the temperature because I couldn't like get away from it. And I've got medical conditions that made it kind of, you know, starting to edge on life-threatening kind of shit. But at the same time, I think I'm supposed to go down there. At the same time, like, it gets pretty cold pretty fast, and then I'll bitch about it being too cold. Meanwhile, somebody's walking around with, like, shorts and a t-shirt, or, like, shorts and a... Was it shorts and a tank top kind of thing? I'm not expecting down here to be good. What is this? River of Flame. Oh, let's check the quest log thing. The trick to reheat coffee is... Oh, I had no idea what was happening then. Is it a coffee... put some milk on the pot and coffee from last day brew. Reheat coffee is put some milk on a pot and the coffee from last day brew. That's kind of interesting though. What do we got here? Take Mephisto Soulstone to Hellforge. I don't think we're that far down here yet. And if I have a look at the map, see, when I think of like a pot of coffee and stuff like that, like I think of, you know, in the movies where you get somebody's got like one of those like kind of percolated coffee machines. Like that's kind of what I automatically just kind of think of. I think over here is supposed to have something with this big ass bridge, but I don't see where the thing is yet. I guess we'll open up later. I don't like reheat coffee flavor, so I heat the milk and pour the hot milk on the cold coffee. Yeah, no, that's what I was kind of wondering, was whether or not it was like, oh, so good. Like a kind of like a cold brew, like, day before kind of press coffee, and then you add in like the warm milk, and then it's kind of almost more like it's not, but it's kind of like, how you get a cappuccino where like the milk is most of the heat temperature. Oh, this place looks so cool. Oh, sorry, I'm fucking sightseeing. I'm gonna die. All the like magma and stuff, like if I swap over, that's what it used to look like. Oh, it still looks so good.
I need mana.
Oh, that looks so great. Look at this. Look at so. I'm sorry. It's just very pretty. I understand that not many people describe Diablo as pretty, but fuck it. I have a different opinion. Like, there's so many like creatures and things in here that I'm just like, these things are cool. Like these little like mini spider things. I never knew that they're like little mini spiders, but they are fucking mini spiders, which actually makes a lot of sense for the mechanics of later, when they added in like a whole heap of like spiders and shit that just seemed like out of left field. But now that I realize that they're like mini spiders everywhere, yeah, makes sense. We use coffee machine so it makes the coffee, but not hot. We have to heat it up in the microwave for 30 seconds and add sugar and milk and stir. See, we've got one of those pod coffee machines. Now, obviously, we've got, like, the electric jug and stuff as well that, we just heat up water and make instant coffee with and stuff. I still kind of prefer my instant coffee over the pod coffees. The pod coffees aren't too bad, but it really does require a little bit of, like, attention to detail on what you're fucking doing with it. I think, or otherwise they could taste really bitter. But the other thing too is I also like a really strong coffee, so yeah, that can also be a bit of a trouble with pods. Like, do I draw a pod twice, or do I put in an additional pod? Am I getting the same amount of caffeine out of this fucking thing or not? Like, it's a bit of a, I don't understand. Like, if I really got into nitty gritty of the details, maybe I could, but I don't. But yeah, it never comes out really warm. Like, the pod coffees always kind of come out a little bit lukewarm. And I think the best ones that we make are when I take the time to, like, grab, like, a cup of milk and go put that in, like, the microwave while I'm, like, pouring the pod coffees, like, doing a draw on a pod. That way we can kind of get, like, hot milk to kind of bring up the temperature. That's when you get a good tasting, like, pod coffee and stuff. But like I said, the pod coffees require a little bit of attention to detail. And, oh, shit, she died. And actually, like, a little bit of time spent. Oh, come on. I keep clicking on chat. Fucking hell. Yeah, they just require a little bit more time and attention than an instant coffee. An instant coffee is just literally boil the jug, put some coffee granule things into a... Oh, fuck. Put some coffee granules into a cup, some sugar if you want sugar, and then, like, heat that shit up with, like, what? Hot water? Boiled water? There we go. English thing. I managed to make a sentence. Anyway. I need more mana and shit than this. I also need health. I also need to go and buy my helper back too. That's something I've got to do. But yeah, I always add in... Generally, I always add in milk as, like, the last element. Like, I'll stir it into it as I'm stirring it and stuff. Like, there's been a lot of different ways I've made coffee over the years, because obviously at one point I did, like, bartending and baristaing and all that shit as well. But yeah, I personally have a different taste to how different devices are supposed to, like, pour and draw and stuff as well. So what I like may not necessarily work for everybody else. Like, my dad always liked milk added before the hot water, because for some reason I understand what he was going for. It doesn't burn the taste of the coffee, right? But the only problem is it makes, like, the milk, to me, have, like, a weird kind of, like, over hot kind of quality to it. Not burnt, but not nice. So I never liked that shit either. I also found that, like, sugar and coffee didn't dissolve properly always when milk was added first. Like, but again, each person has their own taste to this kind of thing, so it doesn't fucking matter. As long as you like your coffee, you know? I don't know if you're going to survive down here. So we have testing machine. a few times to get it right. We had a problem that wasn't strong. Learned how to do a double shot since we have it in the morning when I'm too lazy to actually make coffee. That's fair. Yeah, ours has got the ability to do a short shot or a long shot, or draw or whatever, right? And the idea with it is that the short shot is like an espresso shot, but the thing is, like, the long draw isn't really any better. It's just more water and watery coffee. Yeah, it's a little bit too long. But the thing is, like, if you do 2 short draws on the same pod without changing it out, it tastes better than if you do a long draw. It's so fucking stupid. Like, it's just a niche little thing that our machine does. It's just, oh my god, why? Right? There's something that's coming down to attack me from up there. I'm just trying to get... I thought so. This was a little dead end. But yeah, it's just fancy fucking little stuff. I actually, when we were looking at getting a coffee machine originally, I actually questioned whether or not it was worth getting like a proper barista one. Not like a, you know, super duper expensive one, but, you know, one of the ones where you have like your own ground beans and where you can have like whatever brew you like for a while. Or, you know, the milk foamer thing. I thought about that too. The only problem is that I would have to make every fucking coffee for Nick whenever he wants one, if I did that, because Nick doesn't know how to do the things.
I can't carry anymore.
He's actually got one at work, and he's gotten really good with it. Whenever I go to his office, I'm just like, would you make me a coffee? Because you'll know your machine a lot more than I do. It's not even a matter of, like, being lazy about it. It's just he understands what the machine he's working with does a lot better than me. Obviously, like, I've been taught how to use, like, all of them and whatever, like any machine. But yeah, it's still got, like, little nuances, and somebody that's using it every single day is going to know a lot better than me. It's like one of those unanswered life mysteries with your coffee machine. Like, my coffee machine, it's one of those, like, riddle me this kind of moments, and I'm like, can I just have coffee? Is that too hard to ask for? Oh god, there is too many up there. How about you come down here? I do not have strong enough gear for this, so yeah. I also haven't, I don't think I've leveled for a while. Yeah, hit me up with that. That was a bit of a waste. I should have just used one. Oh man. So let's see. No, I have not leveled. I've still got a while to go. So for anybody that's new and that has not seen this, I'm doing a nostalgia playthrough where I'm playing the game exactly how it would if I was playing it for the very first time as, like, young me. And young me decided that I would put a point in every single box, plus whatever the extra one is into, like, the next one down, then do it, like, repetitively through it until they're all even again and shit. So I am woefully underpowered, and I can't get, like, good gear because of it. And yes, it is challenging. So that's why I'm, like, backed off and potentially dying a lot. But it's fine, I'm having a great time. So, I mean, that's all that fucking matters. It's like, this game's hard as shit. It's like, I made it hard as shit. It's like, I could make it easier, I could play it easier. I don't want to. Fuck that. Can I put a decoy up, please? There we go. It's a little bit hard to get it to actually put up a decoy occasionally. What is it? I don't like trying to make coffee when it comes to first thing in the morning. I tend to be a bit twitchy. There's been times when I had a twitch and coffee goes everywhere. Jesus. Mind you do drink a fair bit of coffee pretty consistently, Grim. Imagine that your body would definitely be like, fuck, I need my coffee. But the other thing too is, like, nobody wants to deal with anything first in the morning.
What do you need?
So, because, like, I stream at night and Nick works during the day, Nick and I have a very unique situation where whenever one of us is about to, like, get up and deal with our day, the other one is basically getting ready to go to bed and, like, has the entire day's worth of information to tell the other person. So we get it a lot where, like, we're just woken up and we just get this massive info dump of whatever's happening or whatever we need to pass on to, like, understand for the other person to, like, you know, keep going about the day and shit. And yeah, it's always one of those things where it's like, do I have to deal with this right now when I just got up? And it's like, technically, yes, because of the times that we're awake. It says no sticky notes. Nah. We have got a whiteboard, though. We do have like a whiteboard that we kind of like write down like important stuff. Like we have our bill schedule. We've got like any upcoming events. We've got any like grocery things that we've 100% run out of or that we're just about to run out of that we need to remember to get. We also have like a grocery app type thing that we kind of like keep to. So if something's running out of something, we can kind of just tack it onto the list.